Welcome back into Evening Plus. Now we're going to talk fireworks, a very different topic, and also how recent news about tariffs is impacting the industry, especially as we're heading into such a hot time for the recreational item. I'm joined now via Zoom by Phantom Fireworks Dan Pert. Dan, you are the Director of Government Affairs for the company. Thanks so much for being here on Evening Plus.
Thanks, Julie. Appreciate you having me.
Okay, so Dan, we're going to talk about a couple of topics tonight. First, though, for maybe anyone who hasn't heard of Phantom, what are you guys all about? Obviously fireworks, but tell us a little bit about the scale of the, company that you guys run.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So thanks, Julia. Phantom Fireworks is the nation's leading retailer in consumer fireworks. We've got a heavy presence in Michigan. We've got 96 or 97 locations, permanent brick and mortar facilities all around the country in 16 different states. We've got thousands of tent locations, and we have a chain store business as well. But we are the industry leader when it comes to consumer fireworks and consumer fireworks advocacy and safety. So our website is fireworks.com. Again, we've got a heavy presence all over the state of Michigan. You can visit our website. You can find out where our closest locations are and what the best deals are for you that we'll have available.
Absolutely. And I do want to talk about safety, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But something we've been hearing about, for months now is the impact of tariffs on all sorts of different products, whether that's things at the grocery store or car prices. And when it comes to fireworks, there could be some impact there as well. Can you walk us through, how those may correlate?
Sure. So like everyone, a couple of months ago, I think it was the beginning of April, we were watching as the beginnings of a new trade policy were unfolding and some tariffs were being announced. And the tariffs with between the U.S. and China imports was a quickly changing situation, and it ended up at an aggregate 145% tariff on any imported items from China. At that time, it caused Phantom. We made the decision to stop any further production and halt any further imports that we were bringing in at that time. Being that that was late enough into 2025, we'd gotten a substantial amount of our inventory in for the season, and we felt comfortable that we were going to be okay with all of our locations and all of our different venues through this 4th of July season. So we felt comfortable halting production and stopping any further imports at that time. Since there has been some resettling and the tariffs have gone down, I think they're down to now about 30%. We've opened up some of our imports and production again. So we'll be receiving, we've done that previously. So, we'll continue to get more items in. The majority of those items, some will make it in before the 4th, but the majority of those items will end up coming in after the 4th at this point. So we'll rely on what we've got. And we think we're going to be pretty well positioned to head into this 4th of July with the inventory that we've already gotten in.
Yeah, so really relying on the product that you guys already had here within the United States. As far as any product that comes in, later on in the summer, as you were mentioning, do you perceive rather that there will be price increases at all for customers?
Well, I think we'll have to take it on a case-by-case basis. Again, I think that we were able to be selective with what we're allowing to come in right now. So any sort of tariff-related price impacts will be able to, if it's not something that we can absorb based on other price decreases, then it's something that we'll have to do very targeted adjustments on, but it certainly isn't going to be anything across the board. There won't be any blanket increases. It's not something that we're looking to take advantage of. And again, based on the unique position that we're already in with the amount of capacity that we've got all throughout the country, we've got enough in that I think we'll be able to minimize any of those impacts so they're not able to make it to the consumer.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, tying in that current event that we're seeing happen across the U.S. and across the world, really, to this industry specifically. If we can switch now more to fireworks safety. Of course, fireworks are so fun. So many people enjoy them, but they also pose a danger, as we all know, and you have to be very careful when you're using them. Obviously, we're just a couple weeks out now from the 4th of July that so many folks look forward to seeing or setting off their own fireworks if they can in their city. As far as safety tips, you guys obviously this is what you do all year long. What do people need to be keeping in mind?
Yeah, so great question. First and foremost, Julia, I can't recommend enough. Make sure you're buying from a licensed, reputable dealer. If you come into any Phantom Fireworks location, you're going to be buying fireworks from somebody who's seen all of the fireworks function, who knows what they do, who can assess your fireworks tolerance and your fireworks capacity and make sure that you have the right items for you or that you know what every item is going to do when you take it home. So that's first and foremost is make sure you understand what it is that you're buying, what it's going to do when you get it home, and you set those items off. Beyond that, we'll start with two, lockstep major rules. First, fireworks aren't for kids, and fireworks and alcohol do not mix.
Hmm.
Many people are getting together for family picnics and barbecues around the 4th of July. It's important to make sure that whoever's handling the fireworks for the display is a sober, responsible adult. Beyond that, we want to make sure that you're shooting fireworks off of a hard, flat surface. If you're out in the yard, lay down a sheet of plywood or something like that so the fireworks have a hard, stable surface to fire off of. If you can stabilize it with a couple of bricks on either side, that's great. Have a water source nearby, whether it's a bucket of water, a hose is great. If you can have a fire extinguisher, but some water source around. And then we recommend to people to use an extended reach lighter, like the grill lighters, or we have pyro torches available in the store. We've even got ignition systems now that people can use where you can fuse the show up yourself ahead of time and then launch it from 150 feet away from your cell phone over there via Bluetooth. So there's a lot of ways to be responsible and safe to use fireworks, and that's why we encourage people to come into a Phantom store or go to fireworks.com, and you can get all that information ahead of time and make sure that your display is going to be the best and the safest for you and your family.
Absolutely. And as far as, we've talked about a couple of serious topics related to the firework industry, but as far as trends or anything new that folks can expect from Phantom, kind of things that may be up and coming in the firework world, is there anything you can share there?
Sure. So what I can tell you, Julia, is the bigger the item, the more the people want it. We've got assortments now that are as big as you and I and need to be strapped down to the hoods of cars, or people bring trailers, excuse me, to load the items in. But a couple of new items, a couple of big new items this year are the big finale pieces, the big 500-gram finale pieces. The couple of new ones that everyone's looking for this year are another one bites the dust, a ton of great color, very long firework, and then a new one. I want to make sure I get the name right. The Thermal Expansion Premier is one of our big finale 500 grams. I don't even know how many shots are in it. I dare you to try and count them yourself. But when you light that one off, you'll see it, and it'll definitely go off for a while, and it makes a great addition to the finale for your show.
Absolutely. Anything that I haven't touched on that you'd like to share with our audience?
We're expecting a great 4th of July this year. The 4th is on a Friday this year, so that's usually great for the family get-togethers and parties. I would recommend to people to come out hopefully the weekend before. Make sure that your favorite items are going to be in stock. I can't recommend enough to people to visit fireworks.com before you go. There's a unique element to fireworks.com. We have a 3D show builder now, so you can actually drag and drop any item that you want to see before you buy it into order. Then you can, start the show, and you can build the entire show on our website right there. You can see what the items do before you buy it because you can't do that anywhere else. And then if you like the items that you put in your show, you can convert that to a shopping list and bring it right into the showroom, and we'll pick it out for you.
Very cool. Kind of, plan what you exactly want to see before you buy it so you know what maybe you're putting on for your guests. Really cool. All right. Well,
Exactly.
thank you so much for joining us here on Evening Plus. I really appreciate your time and expertise walking through these different topics.
Thanks, Julia.
And remember, if you're in the city of Grand Rapids, there are certain limitations on when you can be setting off fireworks. Otherwise, you can face fines. Typically, townships, cities, towns, they all have their own set of rules. So if you are planning on buying and setting off fireworks, you want to check those so you don't end up in any trouble, especially on a holiday weekend.